Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie, Esther here. We had a couple of bits of news today. First off, we had a hotfix patch 3.5.1 was dropped today to fix some issues. So we'll talk about some of the more important issues that were corrected in that patch. And secondly, we had a player satisfaction survey, and I'm going to go through that with you after we talk about the patch notes. So let's start with the patch notes. So if we click the link, it takes us to the official Dead by Daylight forums and these patch notes for 3.5.1. The first order of business is the balancing of the treatment theater map with some changes to the vaults and the windows. The vaults were considered too strong, so they changed them in the large rectangle room and increased the strength of the pallet loops in the rooms instead to compensate. Then if we come down here into the bug fixes, I'm not going to go over all of them, I'm just going to go over some of the notable ones. You may have noticed that your Alpine Ski Vest cosmetic for Meg was unlocked, and even though it's supposed to be an item in the Rift, so everybody had it, nobody was supposed to have it until they reached level 35 in the Reckoning Tome of the Rift, so they've taken that away. Let's see here. The Plague's vomit splashes have decreased in volume. Nobody likes a loud vomiter. Let's see. There were a couple of very important ones that I had mentioned before. Oh, yes. Fix an issue that caused the Decisive Strike perk not to work against the doctor if the survivor has an insane skill check. So, previously, if you had hit your Decisive Strike, if you were in a certain level of madness, it just wouldn't let you go. So now that's fixed. You can put your decisive back into your build if you're a person who is facing a lot of doctors and were frustrated because you were never getting let go with the decisive successful skill checks. That should work for you now. The other important fix has to do with the Springwood maps. You may remember that in a previous video I mentioned that they had turned the Springwood maps off. They're turned back on now. And it says here in the bug fix, fixed an issue that caused multiple unreachable totems and pickup spots in the Springwood maps. Shortly after the 3.5 update, the maps were removed from the rotation because of these unfair and exploiting issues. With this bug fix in 3.5.1, the maps have now been re-enabled. So feel free to play those Pied Piper offerings to get that map again. For the week that was not taken out of the rotation, if you played the offering, you just lost it. So now you can enable that offering and go back to Badham Preschool if you so desire. I think that's about it for these patch notes. Not much really notable. Just covering on those things that I had told you were broken and severe in the past. So I want to make sure that you know that those things have been fixed. Okay, the next thing I have for you is the player satisfaction survey. I would encourage you to fill this out. I'm going to leave a link in the description of the video as well as the first pinned comment in the comments on the video. So hopefully you'll be able to participate in it. I'm going to go through the survey with you, but I don't like to fill it out in front of you because I don't want to influence anybody's choices. I don't want you to just put what I put. I want you to put what you think, obviously. So we're going to go ahead and click the link here and open this up. Dead by Daylight Player Satisfaction Survey Introduction. Thank you for taking the time to give your feedback on Dead by Daylight. The purpose of this survey is to measure player satisfaction and should take approximately 9 minutes to complete. The information and answers provided are anonymous, not shared with any third party, and will not be used for other purposes than survey analysis. The Dead by Daylight development team. Next. Oh, and what languages do we have here? Oh, we have a lot of different language choices here. Okay, next. Overall, how satisfied are you with Dead by Daylight? And the options range from very dissatisfied to very satisfied. Again, I'm not going to pick anything. Sometimes if I don't select something when I go through the survey, I'll miss secondary follow-up questions. So if you fill it out, there might be questions here that you don't see me go through right now because I'm not actually selecting anything. Question 2, how satisfied are you with the following? The graphics quality, the frequency of bugs, the visual aesthetic of the game, the controls and their ease of use, the control responsiveness, overall technical performance. And again, you can fill it out from very dissatisfied to very satisfied or somewhere in the middle. Question 3, to what extent do you agree with the following? Dead by Daylight is worth the time I spend on it. I enjoy playing Dead by Daylight and I feel that the game is fair. Agree strongly. Strongly agree, strongly disagree. Question 4. other players typically impact a game very negatively, very positively, somewhere in between. Question 5. Which role do you... Oh, this is roles, experience, and platforms. Which role do you play the most? Killer, survivor, or both equally? Question 6. Which role do you prefer to play? Killer, survivor, or no preference? Both equally. Question 7. When did you start playing Dead by Daylight? Within the last month, up to over 36 months ago. Question 8. Which platform do you play Dead by Daylight on? Where's my Soulja Boy console? Question 9. Which platforms do you own? Stadia. Next. Cross progression. Here we go. How likely would you be to play Dead by Daylight on additional platforms if cross progression were implemented? Cross progression meaning your progress carries over between platforms. So if you put a lot of time into your PS4, if you switched over to PC and were able to bring your progress with you instead of having to start from scratch, how much would that interest you? Would that encourage you to play on another platform? Very likely to very unlikely. Cursed Legacy. Have you played the latest Dead by Daylight chapter, Cursed Legacy? Yes, I played Survivor. Yes, I played Killer. Yes, I played both roles. No, I've not played the Cursed Legacy chapter. Now, this might be one of those ones that if I select something, it'll ask me further questions about Cursed Legacy. Not sure. So we're going to continue on. Matchmaking. How would you rate your experience within matchmaking in the last 3 months? Matchmaking time. Very positive, very negative, somewhere in between. Your connection quality. Your teammates that you're matched with, for example, their rank and their match skill level. And your opponents that you are matched against, for example, their rank and their match skill level. Are you happy with the opponents you're being matched against? Or is it your experience negative or just neutral? Lore in Dead by Daylight. Question 13. To what extent do you agree with the following? Character lore is an important factor in the characters I choose to play. I think that the lore is important to the game experience. Character lore is an important factor in determining my favorite characters. I am motivated to unlock lore in the game and the archives. And I enjoy reading Dead by Daylight lore. Again, strongly agree, strongly disagree. Question 14. To what extent do you agree with the following here? I value underdog characters above average ones. It's important that new characters have backgrounds that are different than current characters. I value action hero characters above average ones. The most interesting characters have concrete and well-defined backstories. This is interesting. So, are they basically asking us what kind of a survivor we want to see next? Whether it's like an underdog or a very heroic character? All right, here we go. Next one. Question 15. To what extent do you agree with the following regarding your main or favorite character? This character's story leaves room for interpretation. This character is similar to me. This character is different than me. I personally identify with this character's story. This character is larger than life. I empathize with this character. The character's story is relatable. So, are they trying to kind of peel back the layers of the onion and see if we want to know everything about the character as an open book, or do we want character stories to be not so informational that it leaves room for interpretation? I wonder if that's what they're picking our brain for on this question. Which character were you considering? And then you have it drop down all the characters there. Horror tone. Question 17. To what degree are the following horror elements featured in Dead by Daylight gameplay? Jump scares, rated from not at all to very much. Killers with monstrous aesthetics. A feeling of suspense and stress. Gore. Unsettling ambiance. Scary lore and game story, and horror settings. What degree are the following elements featured in Dead by Daylight gameplay? Okay. Question 18. How do you feel about how prominent the following horror elements are in Dead by Daylight gameplay? Okay. Oh, so this is how much does it occur. So this is does it occur, and this is how much does it occur. Like, if you say jump scares are in the game, do we need more or fewer jump scares? More gore, fewer gore, less gore. I see. So it's all the same categories there. Horror subgenre. Question 19. To what degree are the following horror subgenres featured in Dead by Daylight gameplay? Disgusting horror, related to extreme sickness, vomiting, boils, rotting flesh, etc. They're going to ask us if there's too much or not enough of this stuff next. Psychological horror, frightening in a way related to mental, emotional, or psychological states. Disturbing horror, extreme disturbing acts against people like cannibalism and mutilation, etc. And paranormal horror, for example, horror related to ghosts or spirits. Wah! Question 20. How do you feel about how prominent the following horror subgenres are? Okay, so this is saying how much do these occur in Dead by Daylight gameplay, and is it enough or too much or too little? Same thing. Disgusting, psychological, disturbing, or paranormal. Question 21. Which chapter, paragraph, DLC led you to discovering Dead by Daylight? Base game or the chapters. Okay. Question 22. How did you first discover this chapter? Oh, how did you first discover this chapter, paragraph, or DLC? So, what led you to Dead by Daylight, and how did you first discover it? Question 23. How important are the following when deciding to acquire a new DLC? The look of the survivors, the chapter's title, the story, lore. Sorry, I didn't mean to influence you. The story, lore of the chapter, having played on a team or against new characters in the match, wanting to collect all the available chapters and DLC, being familiar with the characters, for example, licensed from another franchise, having watched streamers and content creators use this DLC. Yeah, that one. It's that one. No, I'm just kidding. The chapter spotlight and the look of the killer. Question 24. To what degree do you agree that the following are defining features of Dead by Daylight? It's a social game, it's a horror game, it's a survival game, it's an asymmetrical game, it's a compilation of famous horror characters, and it's a competitive game. Strongly agree, strongly disagree on all of those. And then question 25. Which of the following, if any, do you believe is Dead by Daylight's main defining feature? Wow, so of these, what is that, 3, 4, of these 6 categories, which do you feel mainly exemplifies what Dead by Daylight is? Asymmetrical, social, compilation of famous horror, competitive, horror game, or survival game? Question 26. Which of the following maps do you believe would most benefit from being adjusted with a rework? And then we have the drop down of all the maps. Question 27. Which of the following describe why the map you chose would benefit from an adjustment being reworked the most? Gameplay is stale, it's too similar to other maps, it's unfairly balanced towards a killer or a survivors, it's not fun to play in as survivor, it's not fun to play in as the killer. Question 28. Communications. Overall, how satisfied are you with Dead by Daylight's communications with the community? Very satisfied to very dissatisfied, somewhere in between. Question 29. Where do you prefer to receive and access your communications? Team Community Hub, official Dead by Daylight forums, official Dead by Daylight website, in-game news, on Discord, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Paulie, Esther. No, sorry. Kidding. All right, question number 30. Thoughts on the Dead by Daylight community. From your experience, how would you evaluate the Dead by Daylight community? Displeasing or hearty? Oh, I can't even put it back in the middle now. Question 31. When evaluating the Dead by Daylight community, which of the following were you most considering? In-game survivors' behavior, in-game killers' behavior, community members on social media, community members on Discord, community members on the official forums, the endgame chat, and other. Next. Question 32. How likely is it that you would recommend Dead by Daylight to a friend or a colleague? Well, I mean... Question 33. How likely are you to continue to play Dead by Daylight in the next 3 months? I quit. No, just kidding. Oh no, can I unselect that? Oh no, I can't unselect. Oh, whew. Mobile. Have you played Dead by Daylight mobile? No, yes, I tried, but I do not currently still play it. Yes, I play it occasionally. Yes, I play it frequently. Now, mobile is still in development. It isn't on full worldwide release yet. It's only available in something like 10 countries. So unless you jump through some hoops to get it in a way you're not really supposed to, it's only available publicly to, I believe, 10 countries around the world, of which USA and Canada are not 2 of them. Another mobile question. Which of the following describes why you stopped or would stop playing Dead by Daylight? I'm just going to skip this one because I don't think this applies to most of the people. They have a lot of things that you can say if you have played Dead by Daylight mobile, what you think are its biggest problems. Tell us a bit more about you. What is your gender? Question 37. What country do you currently reside? 38. What is your age? 39. How would you describe your experience level with Dead by Daylight? And question 40. Do you have anything else to share? Please let us know. If possible, please answer in English. And then submit. So that's a blank survey I just turned in, I guess. All right. I'm glad I could help Dead by Daylight with that blank survey I just turned in. All right, so that's the survey. I recommend that you fill it out. You need to voice your concerns about the game. This is how we get change. The cross progression question is very interesting. So I'd like to see where they're going with that. I know that cross progression and cross play are things that they have on their list that they want to do down the road, but unknown if any of that will happen anytime soon. So that's the news I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Take care of each other out there in the fog, and bye-bye.